All right, let's have some fun. Maybe what's fun for me may not be fun for you. We'll see. So today I went to my friend Lynn's house to do some gardening. And she started talking about the financial system. You guys know about Nasara, Jasara, the reset. I don't want to pick on words because it's been called certain things for a long time, but then some of those phrases and names, like everything else in our community, gets hijacked and the meaning gets changed, or other things get changed, and then we're not sure what's going on. So ignore the labels, good versus bad, or any kind of polarity. It is what it is. So I'm going to describe it to you the way I see it. I'm Tina, not Johnny Depp, so I have not made the news, or not yet anyway. So there's two of you here. That's awesome. So I did a David Wilcock move once again. Sorry. Shed some light on. I was really not wanting to have a bunch of light on it, but then I realized I can't see the cards on the table. So this is Tina, and I am the news that has not yet made the news. I went to my friend's house today to do some gardening, and we started talking about the financial reset, Nasara, Jasara, all of that, what's going on, what the hearsay is, and I dropped out of all geopolitics, all everything about 2 years ago. So I'm not keeping track of any of this stuff. But she was, and probably forever will be until it's done. So when I got to her house, we started talking about this. And the last time I went over there, I took my tarot cards with me. And I think I'm now just going to start carrying those in my purse. So she said, well, let's just do a quick tarot spread on it. And I said, well, I didn't bring my tarot cards over today. So she's like, well, what about the store down the street? Do they have tarot cards? And I'm like, I don't know, but I wanted to get some different tarot cards anyway. So I called the store down the street, and she's like, we have too many tarot cards to mention. So I go down there to buy a spare set of tarot cards to keep at Lynn's house. And the reason we did all this was because she listens to back channels talking about stuff that I've opted out of a couple years ago. But she wanted to pull a reading on where we are with what is the current energy of the financial system changeover of planet Earth. So that's what this reading is about. I would really like to turn this around and show you the cards on the table instead of putting my face on here. However, I haven't thought to do that yet, but this read, unlike some of the other ones, it looks incredible. Just on the table looking at it blew my mind. Now, if I was to sit down and pick the perfect tarot cards for the perfect reading for what everybody really would love to hear, this honestly would be the cards that I would pull intentionally and put on the table. Now, obviously, I have integrity. You guys know that, and I would never do that. I'm just telling you, that's how incredibly good this reading looks. So when I went to go and talk about the financial reset, I changed my wording a little bit from how I normally do things, which I just started doing this morning because whenever I get a nudge to change anything, I immediately try it. So this morning, the new way I worded stuff instead of going to higher self or whatever was, I know that we have a lot of, in our multidimensionality right now, we are multidimensional, we are multifaceted, we have cosmic parts and pieces to us. Now, it may come to your mind that those cosmic parts and pieces mean that we've assimilated those cosmic parts or integrated those cosmic parts into our physical body on Earth, and you would be correct. But that also means the shortest way to tell you is I now have eyes in the sky. I've had eyes in the sky for a while, but it's getting really amped up. So I changed the way I asked questions this morning, just this morning. And my new way of doing it is I want to know what omniversal, multidimensional Tina knows. And I actually sat at her house and pulled this reading while she watched me because, like I said, unbelievable. Enough yapping already. This is not a defamation trial. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, so for the energy of the basis of our situation, I get or what our situation is. Sorry. This is our situation. The question I asked was, what does Omniversal Tina know? What light can Omniversal Tina shed in the right now on what's going on behind the scenes and the financial? Now, the reason why I wanted to do it this way is because, like I said, there's back channels. People have been talking about this forever, and then people get mad and frustrated with people putting out bad information or what you call a psyop. Everything is a psyop right now, you guys. There's no way. We're at the crescendo of all these earth changes, and without psyops, there's no way that anything could be done right now. So keep that in mind. So what we have for the question, what we get for the energy of where humanity is right now, we get the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is you've come a really long way. You've accomplished many, many things. The light of day is starting to shine at the end of the tunnel because 10 Wands is the next card. And once you get to 10, it literally means the word reset. And again, go back to the Kabbalah word of reset. So we're at a Nine of Wands. We've accomplished so much, and that means there is literally one more wand to go before the financial changing of the guard. Okay, so we have one step to go before financial planetary liberation. Incredible. I asked, what is crossing us, or what is the challenge in this financial freedom for humanity? And I get the Magician. The Magician is about manifestation. And so that is the group of us that has decided to opt out of being a player or an agent in the system and stayed home and done whatever it is they can do to not be a player in the system. So part of this challenge has been for us to be the magician, to be the creator of abundance and wealth without being an agent to the system. But there's always a double side to every card. So this is exactly how I feel it. We've got one final last step before financial freedom. And what's crossing us is the Magician. So it's the first wave, like I said, creating, being the Magician. But the other thing that the Magician is don't look at me over here, look at the clown over here, right? He's the Magician. He's the one that pulls things out of his hat. He is the one that is creating a distraction. Think about it. Magic is a distraction. And I know you guys know where this is going. There's a lot of different distractions. A lot of this behind the scenes stuff has been going on for 2 years. Hence the whole C19 narrative. It was about a lot more things, as you know, but it was also a way to cover up some of the psyop that was in your face, and also some of the psyop that the back channels were talking about. So what's crossing our last and final step to freedom is the Magician, which again talks about us manifesting, but it also talks about the distractions in reality. Don't look at the banking system failing. Don't look at the things that are crumbling around you. Just look over here at the Magician pulling the white rabbit out of his hat. At the basis of the situation, which is the energy of every card that's on the table around the financial reset, I get the Queen of Pentacles on the left. and the king sitting right beside her on the right. So the basis of our situation when I ask about the reset is divine balance and manifestation, because pentacles are manifestation. It's also the king and queen working together. And it's incredible because we have the queen on the left-hand side, which is I'm open and receptive to messages from the universe on how to straighten out the financial system. This is a plan that has been in the works for at least 60 years, but probably closer to 70. The King of Pentacles sitting right beside her, they both only have one pentacle, guys, and they're holding it in their lap for what they know they want to give to and what they know is right and free and sovereign for this planet. So you have the divine feminine with one pentacle receiving this, and I don't mean man or woman, but the energy is there's a group of people that listen to their intuition about making a plan for the freedom and financial liberation of planet Earth. And the king is right on her right side, meaning these two working together. One, we received information, cosmic assistance, we made a plan, and the King of Pentacles is someone who takes earthly action. Pentacles is all about earth. It's not love. It's not an energetic gift. It is a 3D gift. It is a gift of financial abundance. So again, the base energy of this whole reading is King and Queen of Pentacles side by side, making this financial freedom from the establishment happen. In the passing energy, which is what we've already gone through. It's just literally the passing energy. We have the Five of Pentacles, which 5 talks about change, and Pentacles, again, our financial system, and our financial system has left us in the energy of the Five of Pentacles, out in the cold. There's nothing that I can do that will ever get me ahead of the injustice of the financial system, and we have the Fool. So we have been the fool, we have been hoodwinked by the financial system and out in the cold from the financial system for a really long time. And as I said, that's in the passing energy. So we've moved out of being the fool and stuck in a financial system that doesn't work for the men and women of this planet. When I ask what is to come, what is the highest outcome that is coming out of this energy right now, I get the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is about communication. It's about receiving a message, and it's not an intuitive message. It's not a love message. It is a 3D winds of change message is coming in a very physical way. I ask about what, and I get Wheel of Fortune and Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is wish come true. Wheel of Fortune is a multitude of things, but in this reading, this is how I'm taking this. We are about to receive clear, concise communication, Eight of Wands, about the change, the winds of change, this karmic change, this karmic injustice, the end of a cycle of financial control, manipulation, and abuse of we the people of planet Earth and planet's Earth resources, and it's a wish come true. So viable, third dimensional communication about the financial reset, literally the Wheel of Fortune. Think of the game show, Wheel of Fortune. Why are people there? They're there to get money. We're about to get communication about a financial reset or reevaluation or whatever. Please disregard any cabal words that you've used and changed. As long as you understand what I'm saying to you, that's the only thing that matters. So getting communication about the Wheel of Fortune, it's a wish come true. Beautiful. Now, time frames are really hard to narrow down in tarot, other than wands are days, cups are weeks, swords are month, and pentacles are year. So when I get the King and Queen of Pentacles sitting at the base energy of this entire reading, when I asked about the financial reset, tells me that this financial changing of the guards is this year. I feel very adamantly about that. We'll see, right? I mean, it's glorious news. I can only be wrong. What do I have to lose, right? So, financial freedom sitting at the basis of this entire thing. Now, this really gave me a good laugh. When I asked what's to come, the first card that I pulled was the Devil. And I thought, well, I thought this was a positive reading. And then right next to it, I get the Justice card. So the bondage, the manipulation, the control, the detachment, all of it being tied to this hand of inequality and restriction. The Devil to me mostly talks about restriction, no matter what angle, no matter what you're pulling your card reading on. The Devil is about restriction. So when I ask what's to come, we get restriction, manipulation, and control of the Devil, which could be a negative force in itself. And you can throw any label on that you've heard about the controllers that were, right? But the last card out was Justice. So the restriction, the manipulation is going to receive justice. Now, justice is about, it's the Libra card of balancing the scales. It's about equality. So we have the King and Queen of Pentacles talking about equality and balance. We have the Divine Justice card talking about the Libra scales of balance. But also the Justice card is a mirror, or as above, so below. It also speaks to the fact that it's not just us on the Justice card. That's funny. It's not just us looking for equality. It's not just the human race that's looking for divine justice. It is divine cosmic justice. It's cosmic law. It's cosmic cause and effect. There are many, many beings in many, many places that are assisting it with the financial freedom that's going on. If you think about it, there's no way that planet Earth algorithmically could kick certain members of the establishment out of the computer system, out of the economic system, out of all these systems computer-wide, without having something that overrode the biggest, greatest technology on this planet. So the restriction, the manipulation is all coming to an end by divine justice. Divine justice also talks about cutting through anything that's not fair or equal with the sword of truth, same sword as Archangel Michael and anyone else that wields that sword of truth. Now, I really wanted a time frame on this, and like I said, time frames are the most challenging thing to try to pull on in tarot. So I'm going to go with my gut feeling. When I pulled cards, I was more thinking like I would get an indication whether we're talking about weeks or months or whatever. I don't consider tarot to be longer than a year. Pentacles represents the year. So when I ask what the time frame is for financial freedom for planet Earth, the first card I got was the Chariot. Now that's interesting because there's 78 cards in the tarot deck. And the Chariot is the fastest moving energy out of 78 cards. So we're talking soon, you guys. And I know we've been hearing this for a while. I couldn't take it anymore. That's why I stopped following Jasara, Financial Reset, all of this stuff 2 years ago, because I'd been following it for a really long time. And to me, it was like the parent that promised the unicorn for Christmas 5 years in a row. You get to a certain point where you just don't believe it anymore. And though I didn't want to follow it or study it because it felt like it was a distraction to me or took me off the track from other things, I feel that it's true. Otherwise, I wouldn't have pulled a reading on it. So The Chariot is the fastest moving energy out of 78 cards in the deck. That's the first thing I want you to know. The second thing is it's major arcana. So the major arcana number is 7. And I was like, oh crap, we're talking about July. Now, do I know I'm right? Of course I don't. It's tarot and it's my intuition. But 7 talks about July. And then I pulled a second card to see if that gave me a better grasp on the time. So the first card, the Chariot, is number 7. The second card that I pulled is the Moon, which is 18. So the Chariot talks about overcoming obstacles of what and when, right? So overcoming obstacles of the Moon, anything that's been hidden from us, anything that they have been working to hide from us. So we have 7 and we have 18. So we have 7 and we have 18. Everything in numerology reduces down to a single digit unless it's 11, 22, or 33. So when we add up 7 and 18, guess what? We're right back to 7 again. So double confirmation for me that this is July. Like I said, you guys know. Who knows? I mean, that's a couple months away, so I guess we're going to find out if I'm right or not. Yeah, so we get 7, and then I get a double confirmation of 7. And so in this reading, I have 7, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. I took all of the cards from the entire reading, from the financial reading, added them all up, and I get a number 5. Number 5 in its brevity numerically speaks of universal and personal change on an unparalleled level, confirming the whole thing that I just talked about. So, incredible. Now, I kind of didn't stop there, and I kind of thought, I could probably just spend this entire day pulling tarot cards. I know that some of you may be aware of what's going on with the defamation trial. I am not watching it, but since it started, my YouTube feed, and I'm on YouTube, YouTube is television to me, my YouTube feed is full of it, so I see the titles when I'm scrolling through. So most of you probably know there is a defamation trial. Why are they doing this right now? You guys know the answer to that. Okay, so they got married and divorced within like 5 years. I think the divorce was in 2015-ish. They had a European trial in the UK. I'm assuming that had to do with contracts. And now they're having a trial here. I believe the UK trial was 2015, which equals a 6. So it goes right back to the lover's energy and the devil energy both. Now, I do know that a lot of people see this as a distraction, and you are right, it is a distraction, but there's a couple things I want to tell you about that. One, in December, I started telling you about the divine masculine feminine pole flip within the auric body and also within the planet. This is important, really important for us to look at it. Instead of blowing everything off and saying, oh, this is just a distraction, this is just a distraction. You're right, but look deeper than that. In your multidimensional aspect, there is so many other things going on. First of all, in the last couple months, I've told you that there was going to be a masculine feminine pole flip. I told you that some people were going to experience it in December. Some people were going to experience it 3 months later. Some people 6 months, some people a year. Why am I mentioning this? Because what did we have to with the whole Me Too movement against Hollywood, against men, against this negative, aggressive, dark, agendic Hollywood thing, right? Against men. And what is this defamation trial about? It's about the abuse that Johnny Depp went through in his marriage. Now, I'm telling you this because a couple of reasons. Again, one, it's a pole flip from Me Too to, by the way, men also get hurt, men also have feelings, men also get abused. That's part of it. But I also believe this was saved intentionally for right now for a couple other reasons as well. And again, I'm not watching the trial. I simply see the titles of the videos. I don't need anything else other than that to tell you what's going on. Also, in the last couple months, I told you this was going to be the year of divorce and the year of divorce. I know I can say it, divorce. The year of divorce and also the year of people coming into divine partnership. Okay, so just judging by the titles of these videos coming up in my YouTube feed, there's no other more negative example than an out of balance emperor and empress in this defamation trial than ever. And why are we witnessing this? Why is it up there? Besides the fact that it's a distraction, look at it deeper than that. Because it's time for people to get out of toxic relationships. And for people to know, like I said, that men also suffer mental and physical and spiritual abuse, attack, etc. So this is coming to light for many reasons. But like I said, pole flip from Me Too to this. Very, very interesting. Now, I, like you, when I saw this came out, and I don't know the timeline fully, but I do know they got divorced in like 2017. Then they had the UK trial. Now it's the United States trial. Why did they wait till right now to start this trial? Ask yourself that. You know, it's wild. It's wild, and it's wild in so many ways. One, they're pushing the fact in our face that this kind of relationship dynamic is not healthy. We shouldn't go on with it till it gets to the point where people are treating us like that, okay, on the surface level. There's so many things that go into this. In fact, there's so many things that go into this that I pulled a separate card reading to ask, what is this trial really about? Because remember, in our challenge position for this one last step was the magician, who is the manifester, but he's also pulling the white rabbit out of the black hat and saying, look at what I have over here and don't look at what's going on. Okay, so I ask, why the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial right now? What I get is Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is about new direction, but it's also about people having their pineal gland is lit up, okay? People understand things a lot better than they used to understand them. Also, if you're telling yourself that this is just another false flag, you would be completely and totally correct. However, let's look at false flags in the last 10 years, or just remember them for a millisecond and realize that this is the most peaceful false flag this planet has ever seen. And I want you to know that that in itself tells you a lot about our experience right now and how things are changing on Earth. Also, the reason for this particular false flag is, and I'm sure there are many reasons, but one that I want to point out to you for sure is this. When you're talking about Ukraine and Russia, right? There's a lot of people that aren't going to listen. There's a lot of people that aren't going to watch it because maybe they're not interested in peace. Maybe they're not interested in geopolitics, whatever their reason is. But when you're talking about Hollywood stars, especially someone like Johnny Depp, you are going to be able to catch the attention of most of the world. The reason why I pulled a reading on this is I was out walking last night from 5 to 6 o'clock in the heartbeat of the city of Cincinnati, and there was nobody. There was nobody in their yard grilling out on a beautiful day. There was nobody riding their bike. There was nothing. There were not any cars on the road. And I said, my God, where is everybody? And then in it popped into my vision. I saw that everybody was glued to this trial. And remember, this is the most positive false flag we have ever seen. And remind yourself of that. So that in itself is a huge accomplishment. So Ace of Wands. Why the Johnny Depp trial now? Ace of Wands. People's pineal glands are on. They're open. They're creative. They're understanding what's going on. But my God, have you seen Johnny Depp? I mean, he is literally the second most sexiest man on this planet. So even if you're someone like me that doesn't want to watch this kind of stuff, oh my God, how can you not look for at least a second, right? But people are very aware of what's going on. And I think that's another reason they chose this type of false flag. It's a lot less obvious to people than, say, Russia and the Ukraine or some kind of virus or anything else, right? It's more appealing. It's more peaceful to the general masses. So, and the reason for this trial right now, Ace of Wands talks about new direction. This world is going in a new direction. Second card I pulled was Two of Wands. She's got two wands. She's got one in her hand and the other one is laying beside her on the floor, probably by the TV where she's staring at Johnny Depp, okay? In this card, the only thing that she can do is stare out the window with the glazed look in her eye, because again, you know, on just a solely 3D level, this is a distraction from what's going on. They want everybody to look at it. In this card, she has an atlas or a globe, like from preschool. She's not looking at that. She's not looking at the house. She's not. The only thing that she can do is stare in amazement out this huge picture window, which I'll take that in this particular vision of mine is symbolic for the flat screen TV. When I asked further on this, like what's to come, we get the Six of Wands. And this is really interesting because I bought a new tarot deck today. And I've never had, I love this. Steve's Love Tarot uses this Light Seers deck today. So that's the deck that I bought. On this particular wands, so different from the others. Why is this happening with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard right now? Look, there's the wreath. What comes around goes around. First of all, you don't abuse people. That comes back to you, right? The truth will be lit. But also, look where she is. This is a totally different Six of Wands. Six of Wands, the guy is usually on a horse riding to his victory. This person is on a stage with stage lights, camera, action. This victory will be publicized. I asked what's to come from the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Six of Wands, which is a victory in the spotlight, literally on television, on stage. And I get the Tower card. We're talking out of the blue. There is something going on that is way bigger than you guys can possibly imagine. I don't know. You guys are smart. You're very creative. You're very intuitive. So I think a lot of you guys know. But the Tower card talks about lightning. It talks about a universal source of assistance that, like lightning or like weather, cannot be stopped. What is coming to light here on the stage of the world cannot be stopped. And that's why we were having the distraction of sexy Johnny Depp and Amber Heard right now. Tomorrow I may end up reading tarot cards all day. I don't know. I wanted to share that stuff with you. And there's a couple other things I want to share with you because the amount, there weren't even that many people that watched the video I did about David Wilcock, whenever that was that yesterday? God, I am horrible. I don't know. But anyway, not that many people watched, so I was dumbfounded at the amount of messages that I received all the way around from that last video I made on David Wilcock. So I want to address a couple of those things. One, a couple people approached me after the video wanting to send the video to other people, which I told them go for it. it was awesome. These people just volunteered. I mean, and not people that I normally, these are not people that I normally even talk to. But one person was going to get a hold of Project Camelot. The other person was going to get a hold of somebody that is a YouTube person. Last name Sloan. I apologize. I cannot remember her first name. I had never ever heard of this lady. But this is crazy. This girl sent me a video that this lady named Sloan made 5 days, I believe, before my David Wilcock video. And she was talking about Kanye West, and she was talking about Kanye West being trapped in a concrete room. She described the exact same cell and everything that I did. I didn't know this was something that other people were seeing. I didn't know this was something that other people were talking about. And I also did voice my concern in that reading about talking about this stuff because of repercussion. Anyway, it was very reassuring when this person sent me this. Because this other lady has 130,000 followers, so if she can talk about it and not get in trouble, you know what? So can I. So she said the same thing about Kanye West that I said about David Wilcock. And again, I didn't know her content, or that anyone was talking about this. And so she sent me the video, and I was absolutely blown away. And I did post that video on Facebook. I tried sending it through Messenger, and they blocked it. Also, my video on David Wilcock says the real David Wilcock or a clone ? And when I shared it to Facebook, it says the real David Wilcock ? So they removed the two words, the clone. So I don't know what all's going on with this. Also, one thing I do want to mention about communication. So there's something, the wheels of fortune, the wheels of planetary fortune regarding assets, regarding the financial system and all assets that include. The Eight of Wands, speaking about us knowing, finding out about it, getting communication about it. There's something super, super huge that happened yesterday that I was not aware of until today. Okay. So Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now, it doesn't matter what you think about Elon Musk. I don't really care. And I don't really care what my own opinion is of him, to be honest, because everything that I look at, everything that I talk about, I am going to go from the broadest viewpoint that I can possibly go from. So here's what this means to me. Two things. One, when we're talking about getting communication, we know what the censorship and stuff like that has been across all platforms. So Elon Musk buying Twitter is the biggest deal since sliced bread for a couple different reasons. One, that means, I'm guessing, we'll see in a couple of days, that this is going to be a totally different scenario where it's not going to be, they're not going to be able to, well, he's not wanting to suppress. As you know, Jack Dorsey, I believe, was the owner of Twitter originally. I'm pretty sure. He was very left, etc. So this is very right. So that's one move that I want to mention. Another is this. Social media platforms, since their inception, Facebook, YouTube, all of them, have been started by a person or a conglomerate, or a whatever, however you want to look at it. And never once in history of social media has a platform been sold. Why is that a big deal? Because this sets the precedent for commodities in social media, right? So if I say, okay, I'm going to just offer $50 million of my own money for Twitter, who's to say, is it worth way more than 50 million? Is it worth way less than 50 million? Well, let me tell you what Elon Musk did. You know, he's got enough money, he could buy Facebook, Twitter, all of them tomorrow if he wanted to. So why did he go through a financial backer? Why did he go through a bank or commodities broker or whoever he went to? He went to a third party instead of using his own money, despite the amount of money the man has. Why would he do that? Because he wants the precedent to be set. And third party in this case has to decide how much is a social media platform worth. That's huge. And why that's important again is if it was him offering his money, it would just be between him and that person. So this third party has now established for the first time in history how much a social media company is worth. Now, why would Elon Musk want to establish how much a social media network is worth? Why would he want to do that and not use his own money? Because he's going to buy another one and another one and another one, or maybe his friends or his neighbors, or who knows, doesn't matter. The point is he was establishing the amount of money that a social media platform was worth so that he could start buying other ones. You guys, we're about to see a major flipping of script, and I keep using that word for everything, for relationships, for financial reset, for all of this. This is huge, huge, huge. So, when it comes to the video I made about David Wilcock, if you are interested and haven't seen it, and it doesn't even matter for friends, I'm not accepting friend requests on Facebook, guys. I'm like up to here with Facebook. I'm not doing it. I post public, so there's no reason for anyone to send me a friend request anyway. You have access to whatever I post whenever you want. So, that being said, I posted the video that someone sent me from this woman named Sloan about the video that she made about Kanye West and how they trap and honeycomb consciousness and how they control people. Now I'm going to answer all the questions that came with it. Once people saw my video, they had questions. Then they saw Sloan's video, and I'm sure they had just as many, if not more, questions. The first one is, can they do this to regular people? Of course they can. Do they do this to regular people? Yes, I'm proof of it, okay? There's a reason I keep a small circle of friends. There's a reason I don't go to bars. There's a reason, for the most part, I don't hang out in large groups of people or do all these other things that most people do, okay? They don't track what you are doing. They track your capability. And again, this is not something to be in fear of. I'm just answering people's questions here. Do they do it to regular people? Yes. Because did they know what Kanye was going to do when he was born? Did they know he was going to have great ideas? Now, the reason, what happens is they know the light body, potential. They know the potential before I'm born, before I do anything, before I say anything. They know what my potential is. So the target is on your potential for light, not what you're doing. So the reason for the scattering and the stuff that they do to everybody is because they want to keep us scattered. Like if you're, okay, so the people that they pick on, they're psychic, they have cosmic connections, all these other amazing things, right? And so that's the reason that we're picked on. That's the reason why they try to compartmentalize or scatter the thoughts. Now, this is why I've been talking about how important it is to follow your intuition, because they can't mess with your intuition, you guys. The only thing they can mess with is your thoughts. So if you're getting caught up in your head, yeah, you can get tripped up on it. Again, not a fear thing, not a danger thing, anything like that. They cannot mess with your intuition. They cannot compartmentalize your intuition. There is nothing they can do about your intuition, okay? And there were a lot of people that wanted to know, why would they bother doing this to Tina as opposed to, Kanye West or someone with millions of fans and millions of dollars? Why would they do it? Because Kanye and I have the same capability. It's not about what Tina and Kanye are doing now. It's about what their capability is of doing. Again, this is something I've been aware of for a long time. That's why I don't let a whole lot of outside influence into my life. And that's why I mostly ignore my thoughts and run my life on my intuition. Thoughts can be messed with, thoughts can be programmed, thoughts can be scattered, thoughts can be fractalized, intuition cannot. So that was the first question I got. The second question I got was, is David Wilcock a twin flame, or is he part of this relationship cycle that we are in for the contract for planetary reset? Guys, I was kind of surprised at this question because, how do I say this? To me, it seems obvious. Yes, he is. And that's why I keep telling us it's not just your partner that you came here to assist, right? It's everybody that came here for the contract, the electromagnetic reset, that we're here to assist, not one person. Absolutely, David Wilcock has signed that contract. Put whatever label on it you want. Doesn't really matter to me. The other question that I had, because a lot of people were not thinking that famous people would be part of that contract, the reset, the grid reset, the planetary reset. They were thinking that famous people, influential people, people with money, etc., were not part of the twin flame reset, whatever. I'm here to tell you they absolutely are. Absolutely. Now, a lot of people think about it this way. A lot of people that come in with a huge amount of light, they shine like a star, right? Where does that get them? Well, for a lot of them, it gets them in Hollywood. And there's many reasons on that. One is they want to corrupt that light, of course. They want to scatter that light. That's part of it too. As I almost moved to Hollywood when I was 19. Sidebar story, not important. But I almost did that exact same thing too. But I had an intuitive knowing that that probably wasn't a good idea. Obviously, I didn't know this stuff. So yes, famous people. Another question I had was, can normal people like me, like the person asking the question, like all of us watching this video, is it possible that we have made a contract with someone who is famous? Absolutely. I've done readings for 2 or 3 people who have a famous counterpart, even though they are as far under a rock and out of the light as you can possibly imagine. Their other half, their highest frequency relationship match, is in the limelight in politics and Hollywood, etc. So absolutely, we have to really expand our awareness and not kind of think of it that way. I know it does seem unlikely that an average person would meet a famous person, but all kinds of things that are unlikely seem to be happening at this point. Let's see, what was the other questions I got? It's funny because I tell you guys that I do read our wave of frequency, and when I had said in the last video I was trying to give an example of not being in alignment with what you wanted, okay? And I was saying that because you have nothing to worry about as long as you are just, I need to keep talking about the same thing. You're in alignment with your heart. You're in alignment with your soul. There's nothing anybody can do to you. I'll reiterate what I said in the last video, except for send other people to you as a distraction. Hence all the men coming out of the woodwork to me for the last 3 years. And the closer we get to this, and the more I start speaking out, the more men they send in. So normally I don't answer stuff from men. And I know that people have told me I'm being really limited and I'm probably cutting out good things. But there's a very big difference. Anybody that's in our soul group is not going to send an initial message to me as a start out of, hey baby, you're gorgeous, okay? Because they know, you guys know me, you know that's not gonna work, okay? Not initially anyway. So don't feel like I'm blocking myself off from that. Yes, famous people are twin flames, or whatever label you want to call it. Yes, ordinary people have a twin flame as someone that is famous, absolutely. I told you I tapped into the audience. This girl called me and asked me a couple questions, because when I use examples, if I say I'm using an example, I'm not talking about myself. When I'm talking about myself, I always tell you guys I'm talking about myself. I don't want to talk about my personal relationships and start, naming people and whatever. So I don't do that. You got to have class and style with something, right? So anyway, yeah. as far as being fragmented, again, don't worry, don't be concerned. That's why I gave so many examples in the last video. But someone did reach out to me and said, my dream is to move to California, be with a specific person, and be a writer. How did you know? Like, hey, there's your free tarot for the day. So anyway, I do read the audience, and sometimes, I mean, I'm not just reading the audience, I will read the wave, and sometimes those, when I give examples, those things end up coming out. Let's see, what was the other question? Again, in your authenticity, and people being, sent in is a distraction is very different from, something. Don't be concerned for the safety. Wow, my right ear is going nuts. Do not be concerned with the safety of your life right now. You do not need to be concerned with the safety of your life, and that's not why I made the video, and I'm sure that's not why Mrs. Sloan made the video either. Just wanting to let you know that that kind of stuff does go on, it does happen, and that's why I'm saying don't get caught up in your head about what is going on, what your thoughts are. Thoughts come from outside of us. Remember that. Your intuition is your internal compass. The thoughts come from outside of us. Intuition is internal. As long as you're paying attention to your intuition, you don't even have to worry about what anybody says or does external to you. Hopefully this was helpful. You guys, I swear I see this. I really see this coming in July. That's what I feel it. I don't see it. I shouldn't say that. I feel it coming very, very soon. When I pulled again, I got July, then I got confirmation of July. We have the King and Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is about something happening this year. The King and Queen of Pentacles before the end, on the table now before me, before the end of 2022. Now I'm seeing you guys here and I'm seeing your comments and stuff. I apologize. I don't have the legal right, as I've said before, to go live until I have 1,000 subscriptions. So as soon as I end this video, all of your comments are going to be erased. I know it's a lot of work, but I would really love it if you guys would come back and add your comments. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, but I really want to see and know what you're saying about this. Yeah. And it's hard for me to see with the studio. Every time I look down at the comments, they disappear. I cannot tell you how many videos I've done. This one was almost the same. If I wouldn't have looked at the comments, this video would have been 51 minutes and 55 seconds. And that would have been the third time that's happened. That's wild. All right. I love you. Thank you for being here. Please, if you wouldn't mind, put your comments back in when this video is done. I'll switch it over. Thank you for being here, you guys. This is really exciting. Also, what I want to tell you, I forgot to say this. So on the reading, and the next time I'll try to figure it out so you guys can look directly at the cards. I think it would be helpful for you. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. So again, the whole spread equals a 5. Universal and personal change on an unparalleled level. 5. Also, 5 tarot. Major arcana. Major arcana, again, is major change. So you've got 5 major personal and universal change. You've got 5 major arcana, which talks about 5 universal and personal, massive, massive world change. About what? About the wheel of fortune, literally, of the financial system, and the King and Queen of Pentacles sitting in their balance, taking a plan and making this financial freedom happen in 2022, right? And if I get this right, I won't have to worry about advertising for tarot readings anymore, I suppose, right? They'll just come to me, and that'll be awesome. All right, I love you guys, and I don't know what's going on with Colorado, but I'm getting nonstop messages about Colorado, and I don't even know why I'm sharing this with you, but there's going to be a lot of travel. Somehow Colorado is involved. I don't know exactly how. When I asked specifically about this person, it was someone who liked to ski, and I also got the name Jerome or the initials J. So I don't know what that's about. But anyways, I thought I would throw that out there because I've been seeing maps. Somebody watched my video and painted my higher self and said she had a message for me, and it was, they told her, and I quote, "Tell her it has something to do with the map. She'll know exactly what I mean." So whatever's going on with that, there's a lot of travel involved, you guys, and this is phenomenal. Think about all the things that we will be doing in a very short amount of time that are the direction that we want to go in instead of the direction that this planet has been in. Freedom, freedom, freedom to do anything we want. Yes. All right. I love you. Until next time, to be continued. P.S. I'm not going to tell you what this means. I'm just going to start doing this at the end of every video. My P.S. dedication this time is, I believe he has finally realized what's happening. Bye.